So moving on from the Western, now to the Eastern, and today is May. What's today?
15th.
May 15th. That
Yes.
means today we have Game One of the Eastern Conference Finals, and we're filming this before the game takes place. What are your not necessarily predictions, but what do you look forward to? What do you see happening in this series? It's who do we got? We got Toronto Raptors versus Milwaukee Bucks.
What I want to see is who's going to step up, besides Kawhi Leonard. The person that I'm going to be looking at is going to be Kyle Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna keep on choking, or is he gonna step up? Because
Facts.
even before this year, Lowry, he had that reputation of choker. The guy disappears in the playoffs. But go on, man. It's the excuses are lower. They're not facing LeBron anymore, and Lowry is having a horrible, abysmal playoffs. He's only averaging 12.4 points per game. That's a far cry from his usual averages in the playoffs, which is a 19.2 points per game. Kawhi can't do it all by himself, because Milwaukee, they have the Greek freak. He's not gonna be quiet. They're gonna need somebody else to step up. Gasol, he's gonna need to protect that paint. Ibaka as well, because you already know what's gonna happen with Giannis. He's just pretty much gonna go to the paint.
He's gonna ball out.
Yeah, he's gonna ball out, and
Which has been nice to see in this postseason.
yeah, they're gonna have to play some really good deep, because even though they do go in the paint, the Bucks, they're right now the team that has shot and made the most threes in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree because I had read an article on NBA.com that was previewing the series, and something that the writer wrote that I thought that I semi agreed with was that Giannis and Kawhi and Middleton and Siakam could cancel each other out. So this series might ultimately rely low key on Lowry versus Bledsoe, and they're both pretty inconsistent. But Bledsoe's known for his defense. Lowry is known for like his hustle defense, the intangibles. So I think if Lowry can step up and be more consistent, he could surprise the Bucks, because I think the Bucks are the favorites for a lot of people. But beyond that, I think also watch out for Danny Green. Danny Green could have a game where he pops off on threes and could deliver 15 to 20 points in a game. You never know.
I mean, what's gonna help out for Toronto right now is that the Bucks, they're facing a lot of injuries to their bench right now. Brogdon, he just came back from his injury, so he's not at 100%. Paul Gasol, he went down, for the year. That's a contributor, regarding on their bench. They got Ilasola. Not so sure if I'm saying his name right, and Miritic, but their bench, it could be better.
Yeah.
Toronto, they have Ibaka coming off the bench. They got Van Fleet. They got to handle the ball, and they even got a little bit of insanity.
That's true.
He could
going into these playoffs. I was looking forward to / hoping that maybe we'll get just one the insanity type of game. Like, he doesn't have to pop for 30, but if he just pops for 15 to 25 in that range, like that'd be a nice surprise that I think a lot of people would welcome. Not just the Toronto fans if they get a win for that game, but just NBA fans around the world.
But who do you think is gonna? What's your prediction? Regarding the series.
This one's very hard for me. This is actually very hard for me because I see this series similar to how I saw Milwaukee versus Boston, which was what I'm comparing and analyzing is like, can Giannis's raw talent outweigh at the time Kyrie's experience? You get me? So now it's, instead of Kyrie, now it's like, can Giannis's talent outweigh Kawhi's experience? Kawhi is a former Finals MVP. He has one championship. One? I'm not sure. No, just one, right?
I believe two. You gotta look that up.
Two? Yeah. But either way, he's been in the postseason several times. He's been coached by one of the greatest coaches of all time. So, unlike the way the Celtics handled the Bucks, which was a failure, I can see Kawhi better handling this series than Kyrie did, and Kawhi just has even more experience than Kyrie in the sense that he stepped up more to the plate. I mean, he has a Finals MVP. Kyrie doesn't.
Well, I mean, in addition, Toronto has better chemistry than the Boston has. We could agree Boston has a more loaded roster.
Yeah.
To,
Well, they do say that Kawhi is a much easier player to input in any system because he's so quiet and he kind of just leads more by example than voicing his opinions. So there is that, and I do agree. I do see the chemistry. So I mean, I guess if I were to predict, I would. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just I feel like having a vet experience, like experience and trials and tribulation, outweigh a lot of the people that are first starting to break way into that, which is Giannis in my opinion. So I would actually, for some reason I'm still leaning. My gut leans on Toronto, and the big reason is because of Kawhi, and not just whoa.
That's the quiet alarm.
My bad. So yeah, I'll give it to. I'll predict Toronto because of Kawhi and the Toronto team having a pretty deep roster. So yeah, I don't know how many games, to be honest. I could see the series going up to 7. But even then, I would say I could see Toronto possibly surprising everyone and taking it in 6. But who knows? Maybe Giannis will make me eat my words and he'll finish the series off in 6. But yeah, what do you think?
I say 6 because if it goes 7,
But who's winning in 6?
Toronto.
Oh, okay, you're leaning on Toronto.
Yeah, I say that it's gonna be Toronto in Game 6. They're gonna break the Drake curse. You know, Drake's gonna be right there. You know, for
Drake wasn't there for Game 7 when Kawhi made the shot. I just want to point that out for people.
Okay. The little Drake can do, you know, with what happened there in Game 7.
Well, you did point out something very interesting before we were recording, that the Bucks are the best defensive team in the regular season, but the Raptors will be the highest ranked defensive team they'll face in these playoffs so far.
Yes, that is correct. You know, the Bucks, right now they're the best defensive team. Mm-hmm. You know, right now in the NBA right now. You know, pretty much they're allowing 6.7 points per game. You know, per 100 possessions compared to the regular season. So that's something really good. However, looking at the past, you know, offensives that the Bucks have faced, you know, they faced the Celtics, you know, in round 2. Who they faced in round 1? They faced
was it Pacers? No. Was it Pacers?
No, it wasn't the Pacers. It was, I believe, who they faced?
Detroit. Was it Detroit?
Detroit. Might have been Detroit. I believe it's Detroit. Yes, it might have been Detroit. You know, Detroit's pretty much just Blake Griffin and...
Yeah, Detroit was nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
That's pretty much it. Andre Drummond is just, you know, rebounds and blocks. That's pretty much it. Round 2, okay, a little bit more of a threat, but round 3, it's like Kawhi. You know, it's like he's right up there with, you know, LeBron and KD when it comes to superstars. But games, it's gonna go. I say it's gonna be 6 games. They're gonna break that Drake curse, and it should make an interesting finals. Granted, you know, I think Lowry's just gonna step up. He's gonna get back to.
Yeah, as long as Drizzy doesn't go to the games, Toronto has a good chance.
He'll be fine.
And who has home court advantages again?
The Bucks. They have a home court advantage throughout the playoffs. However, you know, let's say whoever advances, whether it's the Raptors or you know the Bucks, they have a better record than the Warriors. So
yeah,
they're gonna have home court advantage.
But they're still not going to beat the Warriors. That's just my opinion. I think that's like half of the NBA fans' opinions.
Well, that might be true, but if you're gonna make it a series, you know, part of the equation to have a chance, a realistic chance to beat Golden State, you need a loaded roster, you know, some stars, and you need home court advantage.
Yeah, no, these playoffs have been great.
Same as, you know, the Rockets last year. You know, they had the stars, you know, and Chris Paul and James Harden, and you know they had the home court advantage. Thus, they were able to take that to 7 games.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a future video. But like the biggest takeaway from these playoffs, and I have a couple already.